We begin with today's No King protests taking shape across America. Protests will take place in big cities, small towns, urban, suburban, blue states, and red. Organizers say the purpose is to stand up against President Donald Trump, his administration, and his increasingly authoritarian policies. Protests are set to begin in the U.S. later this morning, but they've already begun overseas. These photos are from Sydney, Australia. Protests are also scheduled in Paris, Toronto, Barcelona, Munich, and dozens of other cities around the globe. Today is the third No Kings protest of Trump's second administration. Many who plan to participate explain the importance of this moment, including some who are set to speak at today's rallies.
On our third No Kings Day, in over 3,000 communities across America, we will gather in the millions, in cities, towns, large and small, to affirm our right to free speech, to say yes to democracy, and to remind this administration that it is we, the people, that hold the power.
We are in a moment right now where a tyrannical leader is dishonoring all of our rights. Using our voices is the first and most important way that we can fight back against what's happening in this country.
It's time to break your silence and stand tall against authoritarianism that is taking a hold and consolidating very fast.
Joining us now, Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, one of the headliners at the Twin Cities flagship protest today in St. Paul. Mr. Attorney General, thank you for joining us. I want to play for you some sound from President Trump speaking about your state, the folks in your state, and you this week.
In the case of Minnesota, it's very Somalia-oriented. Think of it. These people come from a crooked country, disgusting country, one of the worst countries in the world. Acknowledged to be one of the worst countries in the world. Some people say it's the worst. They have no money. They have nothing. They come to our country, low IQs, and they rob us blind.
How about the Attorney General? Do you think he's a dirty cop? You think he's a dirty cop? All right, we'll get Minnesota back. We'll take it back from Somalia.
Attorney General, the president thinks you're a dirty cop, and he thinks that Somalis have low IQs. Your reaction?
Well, let me tell you, for me, this is not personal. I'm not organizing today. I'm not holding him accountable in court, sued him over 57 times because he said unkind things about me, untrue things about me. It's because he is a tyrannical leader. He is consolidating power in the style of every autocrat who's ever taken over and dominated and harmed a country in this world. He's close to the worst people in this world. He's against the best people in this world, and from a democratic standard. And so I've got to stand up against him. He's tried to collapse the legislature into his power, tried to denude the courts, trying to undermine the power of the states. And so I have to say no. But his personal jibes matter little to me. I mean, the bottom line is if he said something nice about me, I'd be protesting against him just as fiercely as I am right now. But let me say, I'm a lawyer, but I don't think the battle to save America will be won in a courtroom. I think it will be done in the streets of this country, like the last guest you just had on. Americans who just love this country and care about it and believe and know we can do way better, and they're coming out in big numbers, and I'm so proud of that.
What is your response to his riffs over and over and over weekly at this point about the Somalians or the Somalian Americans that live in your state?
Good question. So I don't think Trump I don't think the point is, oh, Trump doesn't like Somalis. I think he thinks that vast numbers of Americans hold prejudices. He thinks that. And so he's trying to appeal to that in order to divide people. That's really what it's all about. He doesn't, I'm sure that if some Somali rich person offered him Trump Tower in Mogadishu, he'd suddenly like some Somalis. But at the end of the day, he is a greedy, kleptocratic, corrupt, wicked individual who must be opposed. He has no moral conscience. He will never do the right thing the people of America must stand up against him. So what I say to the Somali community, which is a wonderful community in our state, we're so proud of, what I say to our communities that you are our fellow Americans. We need you to stand with all Americans of all other backgrounds to say no to this dictator and understand that if he's not picking on you, he's picking on the trans community, he's picking on Minnesota, he will always find a scapegoat. Today it's Somali Americans, tomorrow it's transgender community, but the divider in chief will always find somebody to blame and scapegoat, and so that's what I chalk it up to. We denounce it, we condemn it, but we're not fooled by it.
Keith, you guys are suing the Trump administration for other Minnesota officials together. You're all suing the Trump administration for refusing to include you guys in the shooting probe into 2 American citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy. So can you talk us through what that looks like?
I'm sorry for interrupting. 3, actually.
Right.
1, let's not leave out Julio Sosa Solis, who did not die but was shot in the back. And because of the video so severely conflicts with what the agent said, actually this Justice Department charged Mr. Sosa Solis and dismissed with prejudice on the grounds that the agents lied. A bigger scandal. I mean, because all of these other scandals are going on, this one's kind of submerged, but this one is a top shelf scandal if ever there was one. We have to, and here's the extraordinary thing. Why should the state of Minnesota, a co-equal sovereign with the federal government, have to sue to get evidence of a crime in order to uphold the laws of the state of Minnesota? This is completely unprecedented. Let me tell you, at the AG's office, the Minnesota Attorney General's office, we are proud to work with local FBI, local ATF, local DEA, all kinds of federal agents all the time. We get their joint task forces with police, sheriffs, and federal agents working together for the goal of public safety right up until now, right up until this very moment, that we have worked cooperatively and constructively, and right up until Trump. But this is the same time when they had the largest surge of immigration agents in the history of the United States, anywhere ever in our state. So now, and then they called the victims of these incidents domestic terrorists, which before they knew anything, and Todd Blanchard said he's not even investigating Renee Good's homicide at all and is done with it, but still they will not share the file. And they're actually holding it from us. They're literally obstructing our ability to investigate what a law enforcement officer involved homicide. And if they say he's innocent, fine, give us the file. I'm sure that's what the evidence will show. But if he isn't, then of course he should be held accountable. I would think we all would agree on that. But that's the kind of trouble we're having with this government right now. This is an extraordinary moment we're living in.
It's a lawsuit we'll be keeping a close eye on, as these cases are what we've heard even just on the show this morning, something that has largely radicalized a lot of people to get out there and protest today. Attorney General Keith Ellison, thanks so much for joining us.
I'd say we're responding to radicalism, but thank you very much.